All right, guys, welcome. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Really excited to have you all here. Do me a favor. I always ask this, but please know we're going to mute you. We're going to turn your video off. Don't feel sad. We really do care what you're wearing, but we don't want to see it right now. So it helps us with bandwidth if we mute you and turn your video off, but we still want to hear from you. So do me a favor, move your mouse, go to the bottom of the screen to the left of your share button. That green share button is a chat box. Please click on the chat box, type in your name and where you're from, and know that we want to hear from you. We want your questions. The best thing about these webinars is not just the fact that they're free, it's that we get these amazing contributors that are sharing insights. You want to know why? I don't, we're all in this together. Do you remember back in March and April when we saw commercials on that over and over and over again? And then suddenly we hit about August and they've all disappeared. It's every man or woman for themselves. So we're really trying to continue on in this vein of we're all in this together. And I'm Sara Kooperman. I'm the CEO of SCW Fitness. I have Mike Lieber. You'll see his little logo up there. He's one of our wonderful creative managers. He's our cinematographer. All those wonderful videos you see from us, Mike creates them. And we've got fabulous presenters joining us today. We have Kia Williams. Kia's an experienced group fitness instructor, personal trainer, yoga teacher. She has a podcast. She's going to share us some information on that because she launched it. Kia, didn't you launch it like during this pandemic?
Just before we launched December 2019.
Yeah, great timing, girlfriend. Great.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've also got Abbie Appel with us. Abbie is an Instagram star. If you haven't seen Abbie's butt, you're not alive during this pandemic. Sorry, Abbie. And she's one of our premier SCW faculty presenters, both for bar and Pilates. She wrote them, so she's got a brain and a gorgeous butt. And she develops and delivers programs for a lot of organizations, including Schwinn. And we have Giovanni Roselli, who we always just call Romeo. That's his nickname. He was recently voted, I won't tell him why. He was recently voted SCW 2020 August Livestream Mania Best Male Presenter. Yay. He's a highly sought after personal trainer. He's also one of our SCW faculty. He works with our corrective exercise certification as well as kettle weights. He has a very successful personal training business and a very large following on social media.
And most importantly, I've also seen Abbie's butt a lot over these last several months.
We live in the same town.
Okay, Romeo, let it be, boyfriend. All right, so we've got, you guys work at the same facility, don't you?
One of them, yeah.
Yeah, one of them. Very cool. Kia and I are like nowhere. Where are you, Kia? Denver?
What is that?
Oh, I think she's muted.
I was muted. Sorry. Those are my fingers, Abbie's. No, I'm actually in Texas now. So yeah, moving around.
You're in Texas now?
Yeah, I'm in Texas now.
Very cool. Better weather.
Much better.
All right, guys. So the focus on this is growing your social media presence. During the pandemic, Fitness Pro's social media has gone from casual use to a must-have tool to reach your clients. Everything is accelerated during this pandemic, and with social media platforms in constant state of change, what can we do to grow our presence? Now, I'll be honest with you, personally, I really want to listen in on this. And we're going to look at some social media guidelines from these people. We're also going to get some tips and some tricks we can do and to help your career get and stay on track. Because you can't just lay low during this time and expect that when things open up, let's say in September of next year, then suddenly you're back to being a star. You got to stay, I always say it's pivot or perish. So Kia, I'm going to start with you. Should I be on all the social media platforms, or should I be focusing on one or two of them specifically?
Sure. I guess I don't guess. It does depend on your following, your audience or your target audience. where are they? What is the frequency of their engagement on those different channels or platforms? And how will you best utilize your resources to meet them in a way that you're providing the service or the content that they're seeking, but it's a call to action to get them back to you? So the answer is, it depends on where your target audience is.
And I like the way you said a call to action to get them back to you.
Mhm.
And for you, that's getting them to register for the podcast.
Sure. So my main use of social media is for marketing, advertisement, and communication. So I'm no longer paying a marketing person, a marketing manager, to put things in newspapers, bulletin boards, or radio spots anymore, because most people who I'm engaging with, my followers, are on Instagram and Facebook. So to get them back to my podcast, there's a call of action to bring them in. Of course, I want it to be authentic engagement, not like I'm twisting their arm to get them there. Of course, I want them to come on their own, so I don't seem as pushy. We've developed this relationship of, I'm easy, I'm cool and easy. We're friends, we're family. So I don't want to come out of nowhere saying, now buy my sexy bars or my sexy butt that I got from taking Abbie's classes. In Florida. But instead, I'm getting more listeners to my podcast, which means more listeners, more clicks, more shares, means more sponsorship dollars.
Yeah, and you actually are getting sponsors, you said.
I am. Yeah, lots of people or brands are reaching out because of who the followers are, the primary followers of the podcast and how they engage. So brands and products that fit that demographic as well want to, utilize different channels.
Right, so you're able to grow it.
Yes.
Abbie, I am totally impressed with especially your presence on Instagram. I made fun of your butt. I covet I'm jealous of your butt. I want your butt, not in a
How about my
romantic sort
abs?
of way.
Kidding.
And your abs. Oh, shut up about your abs. 4 children later.
Your
I'm not
face,
looking
your
at
bangs, all of the above.
I'm not looking at your abs. But
Okay.
how did you grow it? And you were telling us a little bit about how you plan. You're strategic. You may not write it down, but you're strategic. Please share.
Oh, goodness gracious. So I know my population. I know my demographics. They're fitness professionals. So I've been growing this. I started growing it before 2020, and I knew the importance of it before 2020. So it was already getting there. I was working with a company who really valued not necessarily the types of followers, but the amount of followers. So I know it's really important to have a lot of followers. The optics of it is really good. But of course you want followers who want to follow, even they want to follow you because, and they want to contribute to your finances. So you want to make sure you've got that as well. But I started in the beginning, and I knew that my followers were fitness professionals who needed programming ideas. They needed just more information about how to teach better, period, how to teach classes better. So I started providing them with little bits of information, not giving everything away, because I never teach for free. I never taught a class for free. I still won't teach a class for free, but I will give people information enough to draw them in, and they're still getting value even from the stuff I'm posting now, but to draw them in and bring them to my website so they can see what I offer every week, because I have a schedule up every single week for instructors. I mean, it's literally once a week, but it has to be very consistent. So I teach one masterclass every single week for instructors. That's been growing, and it's not huge, but I know I've got some followers who love it. But I started again. I have everything planned. I mean, we're going to talk more about this, I'm sure, but I have it planned at the beginning of the week, what I will post, a little bit of movement, right? And I figured that out too, by the way, because there are certain ways to post your movement to get more people to not only like it, which we're talking about, Giovanni and I we're just all talking about this, but like it, but also to comment on it. And then also when you tag it, when you've got your hashtags, like who's checking that out? How do you get to the top of that list of the hashtags? I mean, there's just so much involved, but I have it planned out. I don't have exactly what I'm posting in the, in the written part of it, in the text, but I have kind of the idea, like the pictures already and the video already done for the whole week.
Do you limit the duration of the videos to like 15 seconds, 30 seconds, under a minute? How do you structure that? Because I want the listeners to realize some of you may be looking to grow an instructor market. It doesn't matter what market you're trying to grow.
Right.
Think systematically about what you're going to post and what's the length of the videos that you use.
Well, that's taken me a little bit of time to figure that out. So yes, we've got what are the IGTV, the longer videos? Who knows what I'm talking about? So if you just post, right. So if you just post a video to Instagram, it will go right to your Instagram page and to Facebook. You connect the two for less than a minute. But anything over a minute becomes, it's up to what, 15 minutes? I can't, but it's just not as inviting to have a video that's longer than a minute. So now what I do is I post multiple less than 1 minute videos. So you can do like, up to, I think it's up to 9 videos or something like that. So I'll post, like, you don't want to give 9, but maybe like 3 to 5 videos. People don't want to see more than that, but 3 to 5 little videos or 3 to 5 little pictures back to back. And that you can see at the bottom of the post, like how many videos or how many pictures there are, but they're normally, around 30 seconds. That's all that people want. And they want to see the progression. They want to see, they want to see how they can teach it. So not only just the movement, but for me, it's like my population, they want to see how it's broken down.
We found that we got more shares and we got more likes with our SCW videos, 30 seconds and definitely under a minute.
Yep.
And then what we also realized is people are looking late at night on their phones. And so they don't put the volume on. So if I want words, we'll have words. Mike Lieber is the genius behind it. He's hiding behind the SCW logo up there. But what Mike will do is he'll put words going across so that maybe there's music playing, maybe there's someone talking, but then you can see exactly what they're exchanging. So keep it definitely under a minute. Abbie likes doing it 30 seconds or less. Multiple videos that she'll post. I recommend using the words, and it's much easier to post, like you said, Abbie, on Instagram. Now, Gio, before I jump on you, it's pretty interesting. We got a question from Susan who said, how do you get folks to determine which social media platform for you? Kia, you're smiling. Gio, I promise I'll talk to you. But Kia, how do you pick? Is there a certain demographic, for Facebook?
Well, can I just be honest while I'm smiling? Because the 12-year-old boy in me, you said, Giovanni, I'm going to jump on you. And we've already established he's Romeo of the group. So I was like, well, hell, me too. What was the question? What was the question?
So how do I decide? Like, I want to launch, I'm teaching classes, my gym closed again. Let's just say my gym closed again. I need to make some money. I'm going stir crazy in my house. It's getting colder outside. I can't teach on the street anymore. I got to start Zooming. I got to start, do Facebook Live. I've got to do something. How do I get my people back, or how do I secure some more?
How do I secure some more? One, you've got to, what I've done, starting with the whole COVID stay-at-home mandate, hopefully within your structured facility, your brick and mortar, you have a way of communicating with your people. So a listserv of some sort that you can email, you can call, leave voice recording to let people know, to keep them informed of what's coming next. What am I missing? How are you continuing to serve my needs? Because we're service providers in the fitness industry, and people oftentimes look to us for answers and resolutions. And if we're doing an assessment of how people are doing, just ask yourself, your neighbors, how are you doing right now? And commonly you will hear, we just want to be taken care of right now. We can't trust the higher powers that be, whoever they are, to make solid decisions for us. I'm not sure what I'm going to cook for dinner. So Giovanni, Abbie, can you please just tell me what to do with my body, how often to do it, and where can I find you? So if you're communicating that effectively to your people, they will come. I have particular individuals who have participated in classes with me in person who weren't necessarily on Instagram and Facebook where my target demographic is. So what did I do? I wrote them a postcard with FAQs of how to download Instagram or Facebook or Zoom to your phone. Or I called their teenage grandsons and said, listen, if you don't get over to Pawpaw's house and help him do this, I'm going to black your eye. Just kidding. I'm not into violence. Please believe me. But if you reach out to them, they will come.
Yeah. And Gio, now I think you were at a larger facility, right? At the beginning of the pandemic, or how did you got all these clients. How did you get them?
Yeah, so I'll kind of open up a new conversation. I tend to use LinkedIn as well, and I know you do too, Sarah. So I tend to use the big three that I would say, right? I use LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram, and I try to use them all, in their own way. So with LinkedIn, if anyone out there is looking maybe to try to hook up with a business or try to find specific, managerial types, or, try to get into a specific, corporation or anything like that, I think LinkedIn is a really good platform to do that. And you could still post really nice videos that would get authentic, comments and likes. To jump back to Kia's and Abbie's point for a second, and this is something we talked about offline, is, one of the goals should be of posts is to get it saved and get it shared. And usually it's the opposite of get it liked and get it commented. And likes and comments are fine. They're good. They're still important, but you're going to stay in the algorithm, so to speak. You're going to stay on the feeds more when you're shared and when you're saved. With that being said, I will try to have a plan like Abbie, where and I'm sure we all can attest, where it was, oh man, I didn't post something like 4 days. And now I'm like behind, and then it's like, screw it, I just won't post anything the rest of the week, right? But then once I started to plan out my posts and say, okay, I have 10 posts, so now I have 2 weeks of content. Now, if I post Monday through Friday and stuff like that. And then once you have that plan of, okay, I love quotes, so I'll post a quote in between a SCW upcoming live workshop, and then I'll have a video of some type of movement like Abbie will do it, and then I'll before I know it, I'll have 2 to 3 weeks of content like that. So I tend to use as many platforms as I can, and I'll use the same content. Like I'll post something on Instagram and then post it on LinkedIn if I feel like it's applicable there.
Yeah, I do this. I really believe in reusing, not just, I think before we turned the camera on, I was talking about the yoga pose. I think it was before we turned the camera on. Last year, I was walking in my neighborhood. My neighborhood is crazy over Christmas and Halloween and everything. They're always decorating everything. And there were these 3 skeletons on the lawn, like doing warrior twos. And it was hysterical. And I took a picture. I got more shares, saves, likes, comments. I'm sure I got personal text messages. It was so funny. It was the greatest thing. So this year I was walking the dog and I'm walking Buster all around trying to find, I couldn't find it. I just reposted it from the previous year. Same thing. Nobody remembers. And I learned something from Jessica Maurer, who said, not only to repost on the 3 biggies, like you said, Gio, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook, but also reuse the ones that work really well. And she kind of said a quarterly, kind of every 3 months thing would work. Abbie, do you ever do that? Or are you always, I mean, you're amazing with the exercises that you're posting.
Well, I mean, every once in a while I repost something, because I know some of the followers I had, I've got more followers who, and by the way, I think not only the people that are the new followers I have, but the people that were following me before, because I give them so much more information, more material, are now checking out my page and they're seeing what I'm posting. So maybe they didn't see something from last year. So sometimes I will repost. The funny thing is about the reposting, sometimes the quality of it, I think the quality of the video isn't nearly as good as having the original video. I don't know if you guys have had that before. Just the quality of the video. Maybe somebody can comment on that, but I think the quality when I repost it. So I'm traditionally doing new stuff, but every once in a while, and it depends on what it is. Like if I got a conference coming up and I'm trying to promote a Pilates certification, I have some really good older stuff that I'm like, let's post it.
I gotta say that Abbie is the most amazing recruiter for SCW events, and I have to say
Oh,
thank you.
thank you.
I really,
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it, and it's
Thank you.
authentic. Either that or she just pretends she likes us. Either way, I don't care. We get a
Okay.
lot of, what is it? Not comments, we get a lot of saves and shares. But what's so great about it, all right, so give me a little bit more insight, because I want to steal this idea, and I know that a lot of people on this webinar would like to steal this. Do you literally go to a club and turn your camera to different angles or take different things in your house and have a bunch of clothes that you're changing as you're doing these videos that you're planning for the week?
Are you asking me?
I'm asking you.
No,
Oh,
I'm
come
not.
on.
No, I'm not. I don't. No, I'm too lazy for that. I'll do the same. No, I'll do. So what happens is I shoot video probably at the end of the week, every week, whether I'm in a hotel or I'm at the club. And so some of it I don't actually use. Like some of it I'll get so much stuff that like I'll shoot more than I will ever use in a week. So I'll get a ton. And so what I'll have is I'll have like 3 weeks of material. 3 weeks. And so what I'll do is I'll post, one from the current stuff, and then I'll look back and I'm like, oh, I forgot to post that. And I'll take something from that, or I'll shoot, like sometimes I actually record an entire class. And then I just take a little clip of the class and I post that. So I want it to look different from slide to slide.
And we get some great questions.
Tons.
And I'm kind of ignoring them, but let me look here. We've got should Julia actually asked, how many times per day, or Angie asked, how many times per day should we post? Gio, how many times per day do you post?
Yeah, I tried to answer Angie just in case the chat got away from us, but I would say like once a day is optimal, depending on how quality your client is, quality your content is. But it's got to be consistent, and it's got to be at least, in the minimum, in my eyes, at least 4 times a week. Ideally 5 times. I think the question was, though, more than 1 a day. I don't think more than 1 a day is necessary, but you got to try to keep the quality high. So I've seen some trainers and people of all walks of life make the mistake of just trying to put out content to put out content, and it's just like, this really doesn't mean anything to me, or it's not that good, or I just don't care for it. You're just trying to put up content to put up content. So, if it's, you'd rather have 3 to 4 good posts as opposed to 5 forced.
Okay. And those good posts, like, I know you're a writer, you write some fabulous articles and blog and stuff like that. But so you're talking about good quality exercises, good quality healthy recommendations, solid quotes that are heartfelt. You're talking about things that you think that people care about, right? Not just what you're eating for lunch or the dog laying on the couch.
Right. And let's not forget about what we really didn't touch on, this is the importance of hashtags, which is, the algorithms are changing and all this stuff, but, using good hashtags and making good tags can really help elevate your posts, especially on, Instagram, where I see way too many posts about like, okay, I get it, and I've done work for Nike in the past where you're just like hashtag Nike training. Like, I'm sorry, but like Nike training, like hashtagging that, Nike's not going to be calling you. Like, but if you want to like build up business, right, then you would put, like, for example, if you're a bar teacher, right, and instead of saying, let me put bar class, well, what if I put virtual bar instructor? Okay, so what would you, as a consumer, what would you search if you were searching as a consumer for anything else, right? If you were trying to buy anything, not just a fitness service. That's how you should start to approach your hashtags, because as we've all seen, as some of us have probably done, we search for the hashtag. And if you just put hashtag Nike and you're in 50 million other posts, then it's going to get lost in the shuffle. But if you put virtual bar instructor, then now when someone searches for that, they're gonna find you much easier.
We're also getting a lot of questions about, my phone fills up too fast. Should I get a camera? What type of sound should I use? I know that Mike's been great in putting some stuff in there. We do We have a virtual training certification with Jeff Howard and Jessica Maurer that they do that. Jessica also does a social media one. I know, Kia, you present at our conferences at Livestream Mania, and you have a whole presentation. It was really great, by the way, at the conference. We've kind of been, we've kind of realized at Mania is, using, like right now I've got my desktop computer with my little camera up here, but when I'm down in the basement, I brought my nice Mac computer and I was filming with that. I got better resolution out of my phone.
You do.
Out of my phone. And somebody said, well, their phone fills up. And I said, well, you might want to think about investing in a new phone, but go ahead, Abbie, please.
Well, what is it? So I thought the same thing. I was going to invest in another. For Zoom calls, I have an external camera. And the only reason I have the external camera, it's like I'm pointing to it up here, is because I need a wider angle. That's for Zoom, especially in my kitchen, because everything is in this kitchen. So I can almost take my hands and touch my stove and my refrigerator at the same time. So I need a wider angle so people can see me. But I was going to invest in another camera, like a bigger iPad and all this. And some of the people I was working with, there's a charity organization who wanted some video. And I said, should I get another camera? They goes, no, use your iPhone. That's number one, because that's the best resolution. And number two, if you don't have enough space on your phone, then invest in the $2.99 a month or the $1.99 a month with the cloud with your iCloud. Yeah, it will store everything. I never lose anything any longer. And I always go back to it.
And a microphone, I have this $400 microphone with the whole connections and everything. You know what worked the best? My AirPods. I use my camera and I use my computer and I put my AirPods in. Thank you, Mike Lieber helped, coordinate and put everything. And it was like, I didn't have to buy a thing. That's where I think you guys, if you're interested in virtual, like the virtual training, lights, camera, action, think about doing it. It's a 4-hour certification that we offer that has this great video and stuff that teaches you how to do it. But Kia, what do you use? I think you're using your phone right now.
I use my phone for recording, and that was basically through trial and error of using my Mac and then my iPad. The better video quality comes with my upgraded iPhone. I'm sure if you have an Android device or any other smartphone, it will be the same thing, because we are in the day and age of the selfie people, the selfie craze. So all cameras on the phones have been upgraded and flash and everything. Yeah, Abbie, absolutely.
Bye.
And also as Abbie's taking a selfie. You can find them from your cell phone provider or even on Amazon. I get everything on Amazon, attachments that you can put onto your phone. So in Abbie's case, when she was saying she needed to have a wider angle, same thing for me. I'm in a tiny studio or apartment. I have an attachable lens for my iPhone that is a fisheye or a wide lens that I don't have to move the camera further away from me. Someone in the comments asked about mics, because I invested a lot of money into these microphones that are supposed to be top notch. And I found that through Zoom, because of all the technicalities and Zoom being smarter than the human body is, that it was better just to go through my cell phone device or my laptop if I was using that. So I have an attachable lens on the camera, so the camera can stay close to me, but to the viewer eye, it looks like I'm further away. You can see me head to toe.
All right, you're gonna do me a favor. I know we're on Zoom. Oh no, I'm gonna have Mike Lieber. Mike Lieber, can you find one of those fish eyes that go on a phone, please, and put the link in the chat box? It's probably, what's it called, Kia?
Amazon. Just go to Amazon, say iPhone attachable fisheye.
iPhone attachable fisheye.
He'll find it. He's a smart guy. Yeah.
Love it. Love it, Kia. That's great. Gio, how are you? Are you taking different photos? Are you using different videos? And I know you're personally training people live, but I think you're also doing it virtually. How are you managing that?
Yeah, I'll be very honest and transparent, especially in these times. I'm not going to buy anything until I feel like I absolutely positively need to. And if I can get away with what I have, then I'm going to get away with it. And the phone is fine for me. My Mac, which I'm on right now, is fine for me. And that's what, like, I don't even have, to be honest, I don't even have any microphones. I don't have earbuds. I don't use anything. And so far,
I'm sending you some earbuds.
I know.
We're all, the three girls are going to take up a collection for the good looking guy in the corner.
And so far,
Yeah.
it's been, it's been working for me. I know it may sound a little better like that, but like I said, if there's any corners to be cut where I can, tighten up some expenses at this time, then I'm going to do that. So I'll just use, I have an Apple phone and I have a Mac computer, and it's been, working well. The biggest obstacle I found, which we've talked about this in other webinars, is finding a really good connection, finding really good Wi-Fi to do all this, because that's honestly been my biggest issue.
That's the hardest thing to do. You know what I did? I went and I just called, we have Xfinity at our house. We have Xfinity, or is it Comcast? Oh geez Louise, I think it's
the same company.
Oh,
yeah.
Shut up, Abby. And I called them and I said, can you come out and check it? And it was like, and they started saying, well, there's a visit call, there's a price, and there's this. And it's like, come on, look what I pay each month. Can you come out? They sent somebody out and he looked, he's like, our Wi-Fi, oh God, I don't even know what it's called, the hub thing. He's like, it's like 3 years old. It's like 5 generations old. He put in a new one. It was like my Wi-Fi just got better with a snap. So I highly recommend, that's one of the first things you do is call up. And even if the visit costs you like $80, it was light years ahead of where it used to be. So that's a good question. All right. We've got a few more questions going on. Yeah, somebody said define. Oh, now, how do you offer music if you're using Airpods? What I do is I open a Zoom window on 2 accounts, the same window. I have my phone opened and I have my computer opened, and I play my music off my computer and I play my voice off of the phone. It sounds a little complicated. If you need more questions about this, I think it's from Debbie Rosenberg. Debbie, you can email, why don't you email info@scwfit.com, okay? And I'll get it and I'll answer. Frankly, I'll have Mike Lieber answer. He's much smarter than me. Okay. But all right, so I've got some questions. Should I be using social media as a gateway to another platform for financial success? Now, Gio, how are you using your social media? I'm assuming it's to get clients or sell other products. How do you then get them to transfer?
Yeah, and one thing that someone wrote to me privately, sorry to call you out, the person who wrote it privately, was we haven't talked about YouTube. And she asked me about YouTube, and I think this kind of feeds into this question where I will also use YouTube to post and have, I don't have a big channel, but if we're creating all this content, if me, Abby, Kia, and you, we're creating all these videos, I want to get the most out of these videos, right? So as you said, I'm going to post it on Instagram, then I'm going to post it to Facebook, then I'm going to post it to LinkedIn, and then I'm going to put it on a YouTube channel. And then from the YouTube channel, I may put it in what you like, Sara, is my newsletter. And then from my newsletter, if you click on the video, it's going to bring you to my website. You guys, you got all that? So now I'm kind of funneling you to my website, where from my website, then I will have call to action campaigns. Then I will have other complimentary services that you can, click for a free infograph on nutrition. And I like to use Precision Nutrition a lot. They have really good infographics. So I'm kind of not big into, but I've used like these type of funnels where, like Key has mentioned in the past, like it's not really pushy, but I will try to leverage all the platforms to still push someone. And that's what you have to decide. You have to decide, like, where do you want them to finally push through? Like where is the pay button? Where's the register button? And for me, it's often on my website or a specific link that I'm funneling you to go to. So that's how I look at it. And, the services I offer, I teach group, I teach personal training, I teach, the virtual online training for SCW. I teach for corporation. I teach corporate wellness. So I have a lot of different, services that I'm offering. So there's a lot of different funnels I'm trying to use to eventually get you all to the same place, which is to pay now. And that's why I've spent a lot of time and a decent amount of money on a really good website, which goes without saying. I hope everyone out there, if you don't have a website, it's time to get one.
Yeah, you need a landing page.
Right.
Yeah, if you get them flying, you need a place for them to land, and
Right.
you need to have it. And it's, what you guys can do. If you don't know how to do your own or start your own YouTube station, Google it. How to start a YouTube station. Doesn't cost anything, and you can do it. I remember I was sending out something and I wanted to include a QR code, one of the little squares with all the dots and blah, blah, blah. You know what you do? You Google free QR code. Boom. You get it. It's easy. It's simple. You can Google anything. I'm going to let you all in on a little secret. I've started cooking. I'm 61 years old and I'm not a cook, and I've never cooked. I just don't cook. But it's like, we can't go out to dinner. I can't go to a movie. I'm a concert freak. And I'm like, what am I going to do? So I thought, my girlfriend said to garden. I'm like, hello, I live in Chicago. It's November. Are you crazy? So I tried cooking. Anyway, I've gotten into YouTube and I get my recipes out of YouTube. Natasha's Kitchen. I love that girl. But it's like YouTube. You can don't laugh, Gio, but you can do anything. Now, Abbie, do you post your videos on YouTube?
I did for a while. I wasn't getting a lot of hits from YouTube. I mean, it started growing, but it's just, what it is? It's so time consuming. Like, I have to pick where like, I'm trying to get people to go to my website, just to go to my landing page. That's my goal. So I really use mostly Instagram and Facebook to promote those, or to promote it.
And you just found that works for you. Kia, how about you? How are you doing with that?
Well, everything is on Google and YouTube. I learned to change the oil in my car from watching YouTube videos. Yes, Giovanni, these nails changed oil. But going back to my prime reason for utilizing social media, putting the social back in social media, given that with what my primary position as a group fitness instructor and a mentor was, it was about building community. And now that we're spatially distanced or physically distanced, how am I continuing to support the community? By using social media to build that community or hold us tight knit together. Now we're having even more access to each other, morning, noon, night. People are laying in bed before bed. They're sending you messages, preparing for their workout with you tomorrow. So I'm using social media as a means or a vessel for communication and advertisement only. So it's not, my call to action is self-reporting, I guess. I'm not asking or forcing or directly asking or demanding people buy anything from me, because I'm enabling them and also encouraging them, allowing them to feel more in control of their lives when we're living in basic chaos right now from some people's point of view. For me to give them that control of, listen, whether you pay or not, you're still invited to engage with us. As Abbie does, she gives you just a snippet of her videos. If you want more, click this link. You go to my landing page, my website, to go into my programs. Or how I'm getting most of my unique engagers is that they reach out to me. Hey, I saw this awesome video that you did, or read this post about something you're writing. How do I get involved? People are flat out saying to me, how can I better support you? But I think that's because that's the tone of my page. We're family, we support each other. So they're paying that forward to me. They're paying it back to me as well.
Okay, interesting. We did get a question. Does YouTube have special length requirements or fee requirements? Anyone?
I no longer use YouTube, but it's all free. You can use it for free, but you got to be aware of the music that you are using, because YouTube, Facebook included, will rip it quickly. So you better make sure. And it takes, like Abbie said, it takes forever to upload videos to YouTube. And the audience, that my target audience being younger instructors, I'm providing mentor education and advice to them. They're getting younger and younger, that audience. So they're not on YouTube anymore. So that's why I switched to Instagram to meet their needs. that's where they are.
Interesting. And what if anybody out here doesn't understand what Kia was talking about, ripping the music means that if you take a video and you're going to record it, it's not like Facebook Live. You've just recorded it and then you hit share on Facebook and you're sharing whatever you just filmed. That's when they catch you. It's not so much when you're live, because live, the music's just going, and you're teaching and you've got, Harry Styles, whatever, playing in the background for your yoga class. And he's crying over some love lost, whatever. But they'll keep it playing when it's live, but it's when you hit share or record that then they shut down the music. So you'll still see the video, but there won't be any sound. And then how do they catch these things? Artificial intelligence. Who knows? It's kind of like how it's an algorithm, whatever rhythm's going at, it's an algorithm and they pick it up. Does my following matter, or should I focus more on the quality of the followers? And I know, Kia, you had some opinions on that.
I did. It is, in my opinion, it's more about the quality over the quantity. All of that other stuff is just smoke and mirrors. It's all mental. It's stroking your ego to have a large number of followers. Cool, but how many people are truly, authentically engaging with you? How many people are saving and sharing your posts? How many people are writing to you privately and then commenting back on things? If you say comment below, how many of those people, who are your true engagers? Who's your true tribe who are going to, go to your homepage, who are going to join your subscription or whatever it is that you're selling? That's what matters the most.
So Abbie, what are your suggestions on getting followers to be more social besides just getting them for a call to action? This is from Angie.
Oh, well, I mean, as I said before, I know my demographics. So I'm giving, those are fitness professionals, and specifically they're group fitness instructors. And even if I, kind of narrow that down, I kind of even know the age of my followers, and I know what they need. I know what types of classes they teach and what, just generally what they need, what that certain individual needs. So I post that. And I post, as I said before, the little clips, and that seems, to get people to make comments, respond, and share them. And I wanted to touch on what Kia was saying a moment ago. I get a gazillion, not a gazillion, but I've gotten a lot of messages from companies that offer to help you get more followers. You pay them a fee. And I'm telling you, I've turned all of them down, because I've seen people pay for followers. I've seen them go from 1,000 followers to 15,000 followers in a day. And then you watch what happens over the next 3 months. And they went from 15,000 followers to 12,000 followers to 9,000 followers, and then to 8,000 followers, because they weren't really people that were interested in the content that they were providing, the people who their page. So it has to be authentic what you're providing, and the people that you are providing it for, there has to be a need. There has to be a need out there.
Yes, you know what? I can't even believe it. We have 2 minutes left, which is crazy. I feel like I could just keep sucking your brains out and listen to you guys forever. I need best advice, lessons learned. Gio, can I start with you? Give us a closing, a best advice here that we can walk away with.
First and foremost, if this is a social media webinar, then plan, like me and Abbie said, plan out your posts, so you're not just sitting there saying, oh, it's Monday morning and it's 10 o'clock and what am I going to post today? Okay, let me take a picture of my food just because I need to do a post. So have a plan with what you're posting 2 to 3 weeks out. Take a day where you just say, okay, I'm going to shoot a bunch of videos from different angles with different outfits, and and then you have your content. Throw in a couple, other things, like if you want to throw a quote in or other things that is specific to you. You can do that as well. To go back to the other question, and I'll be quick, is keep tabs of your new followers and keep tags of who's commenting, because those authentic followers and comments are going to be the ones that you want to try to reel in even more. Actually, as weird as this sounds, I have a spreadsheet of everybody who follows me. And if you just follow me, then I put it, and I even put a little asterisk next to it, because those are my real potential customers that I'm going to look for. So
That's great. That's amazing. Okay. Kia, words of wisdom.
With dealing with social media, be authentic. Your brand presence is important, so be consistent with your posting and consistent with communicating with your people. If they write to you, write back. If they like something of theirs, authentically, of course. Grow the brand, continue to utilize it responsibly, and make a good name for the fitness industry.
Fabulous. And Abbie?
When you're posting, just make sure you're aware of what you're posting. I know we have so many fitness professionals that are out there right now, and you're posting, most of you are promoting a class or something like that. If you're promoting movement, or if you're posting movement to promote a class, make sure it's good. If you're not sure, I mean, it's seriously, if you're not sure what a good push-up looks like, go look it up. Look it up, because that's one of the things I look at. I'm like, bad push-up, delete. Like, I'm just not going to look at that. I'm telling you right now, your members know, like the people that you're trying to get to follow you and to take your classes, they know what a good squat is and what a good push-up is. So make sure that your movement quality, and even like just the quality of the video, the background, everything you're doing looks clean.
Very nice. Thank you. And you guys, I'm going to end with a very short video. Here we go. Very cool. That's our wonderful Mike Lieber that has done this. So don't miss us. Certification Smash, December 11th through 13th. Abbie's going to be there. Giovanni's going to be there. Kia, I think sometime in the future will be there. Thank you all for joining us. Have a wonderful evening. Happy, and healthy Thanksgiving to everyone. Take care. Bye.